This is Rene Enriquez. Nickname Black Hand of the Mexican Mafia. Prison gang politics.
Hey folks, my name is Rene Enriquez and you are watching Uncensored. Well, in the recent past, we've been giving you interrogations and interviews for individuals who are being interviewed by Los Angeles Sheriff Department and a number of agencies, right? So I wanted to continue that theme. We're going to do this one a little differently because typically I do an intro, I let the call or the interview run, and then I do the outro. Here we're going to break it down. We're going to unpack it, right? This is Sandra Cuevas, cooperating witness with Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. And this involves the Falcone pizza eliminations, right? This was pretty big. An individual by the name of Chapo Ruiz goes to this place, sees bikers, and believes they're Mongols. So this has to do with the conflict between the Mongols and the Mexican Mafia. So Chapo Ruiz sees these individuals and does what he does. He eliminates 3 of them. Unfortunately, they weren't even Mongols. They were weekend warriors. They were Christian bikers, actually. And it's a sad, sad case where multiple individuals lost their lives over nothing, right? And the individual responsible for the eliminations actually calls Sandra Cuevas. And to give you a background on Sandra Cuevas, they used to call her sister, right? And she worked hand in hand with Phoebe and Daryl Baca. She was one of their secretaries, if you will. And her husband was Raymond Cuevas, puppet from the rebels. And the plot thickens, folks, because Puppet Cuevas is one of the individuals involved in the Orange County informant scandal. That huge thing in the Decry case where the Attorney General stepped in and took the case away from the Orange County District Attorney because there were some Giglio-Brady violations. Brady violations are when the prosecution doesn't turn over exculpatory or any evidence, right, during the discovery process. There's a specific period in the trial process, in the adjudication process in a case where the district attorney is supposed to provide all the information they have, either inculpatory or exculpatory towards the defendant, and some of this was withheld. So Puppet Cuevas is Sandra's husband, and he's an informant for a variety of different agencies. I mean, these guys were getting paid over $300,000 a year to participate in what are known as Perkins operations, where individuals wear wires and they go talk to individuals and try to elicit confessions, spontaneous admissions from them. So that's her husband, right? So this is the interview that she initially has with John Duncan and Phil Guzman. I know both of these individuals. I've interviewed with them before. I had conversations with them, and this was their case. So I'm going to run that interview now, and you're going to hear it as it occurred.
Oven mitts. We take the kids and do infill drills with those oven mitts so they learn how to do soft hands. We're starting off.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm all right.
Good. All right. You do this first.
You were Sandra, right?
Yes, I am. Hello.
Sandra, my name is Phil Guzman.
Nice to meet you.
My partner, John Duncan.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You might have heard about Phil. He's the one handling Chapo's thing.
Oh, okay.
Good. Well, look. So, basically, you're not a suspect or anything in the Chapo thing. We know that he came to you afterwards to talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
To help
so,
him out.
exactly. To help him out and make sure that he's clean on it. That he thought he was going to get hit or in trouble for it.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to have some questions about that. It's got nothing to do. You're not a suspect. It's just he's talking to you as a witness, okay?
Okay.
And if there's any questions or things we have to remember, or we're talking, we want to talk about it anyway, just a little while. But he just wanted to talk to you first.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, you know, and like Jim said, that's the only murder that I'm really handling. I know you probably have a lot of information on a lot of stuff. And But my interest is in that murder, and that's the one that Puppet testified on. You know about it.
Yeah, I just found out.
Yeah, you know,
I was in the dark.
just out of curiosity, how did Puppet keep you from knowing that he was?
You know what? He's good.
Yeah.
He's getting.
So let's stop the presses right here, right? I've showed you I ran the other interviews for you, and they're a bit adversarial, right? There's an edge to them, and the tone is a little different. One where somebody's been arrested and they're angry, they're upset, they're confused, they're afraid. Here, Sandra entered the room laughing. Hi, guys. It's completely non-confrontational, right? And they say immediately, "You're not a suspect. You're not being investigated. You're here as a witness, right?" And she's with it immediately. Okay. And her husband has already testified in this case, right? So let's continue with and I just wanted to set that tone. If you could differentiate the tone, the vibe, right? If you could differentiate the vibe from those other interviews, then you're already on the right track.
Award.
He had a good
Sure is. I
attorney.
tip my hat to him, man.
Yeah, he had a good attorney.
He sure did. He's the best lawyer there is.
Yeah, and let me just start a little bit from the beginning. Like Chapo, do you know Chapo's real name?
Rudy Reese,
Rudy Ruiz.
right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know him? How long have you known him?
I've known Rudy maybe 2 or 3 years.
And how is it you became to know him?
I got introduced to him by one of his friends, one of our friends, Shotgun from Rivera.
Do you know what Shotgun's real name is?
Robert Salazar.
Robert Salazar?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, and when you were introduced to Ruiz, what was the reason for you being introduced? Just friends, or was there a reason for it?
He needed help.
Help with what?
I guess they were trying to whack him.
When you say they, who's they?
The Mexican Mafia.
Yeah. And I understand you have some pretty good, strong connections with the Mexican Mafia.
Yeah.
Or had or have. Or,
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And how was it you were going to help Ruiz out?
I guess it's all hearsay. I'm not sure. He had did something, and there was kids involved. So I don't know if you're familiar. Kids are not supposed to be involved in anything. If there's kids present, you don't do nothing. There was kids present when something had went down, and they were trying to whack him, and he told me his side of the story, that it wasn't his fault, he was innocent. So I just...
What incident was it where there were kids involved?
I guess he beat somebody up or something, and there was kids involved, and the kids were there or something like that, and it wasn't supposed to happen.
So that was just him just beating somebody up. There was no shooting involved or anything.
No.
And did you?
Again, let me reemphasize that rule about children present, right? That is the rule. It gets violated all the time. We've seen over and over it gets violated, but there are repercussions for exposing kids to violence, right? And the Mexican Mafia holds true to that. It's one of the honorable positions that they have. They will not involve family members, innocent bystanders, or children. And you're hearing a high-powered secretary say this straight out, you know, that there were kids involved and they were going to whack him for it.
Yes, I sure did.
And how'd you help him?
Well, I spoke on his behalf, saying he was misled. He was, told to do it no matter who was there. So I spoke on his behalf, and I got it cleared up.
Oh, so then he was okay after that?
Yeah.
Did he have Mexican Mafia connections before you met him?
I believe so, but I'm not sure with who, but I believe he did.
And then after that, did you continue a friendship with him or some kind of relationship with him?
A friendship, yeah.
And was his involvement in Mexican Mafia, did it cross over with you at all? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how did that work?
He was really good friends. We got along really good. Just till all this happened that he got arrested, did we start bumping heads.
So when you guys were really good friends, was there also some of the Mexican Mafia business that maybe you were involved in and he was involved in? Were they connected at all, or were you just friends?
Do you speak now?
On this part, this is kind of incriminating just because basically he made money for you and them, right? He's a good money man.
Yeah.
So she's afraid to say something. It's not something that they're going to use at all. He doesn't have a case with the Mexican Mafia. All he has is a case with Chapo. So although they'll probably ask you these exact same questions on Wednesday and you'll have immunity then. But yeah, you can tell him that.
Okay, yeah, he used to make money for me.
Okay, and just to let you know, I'd like to hear what you have to say, and I'd like to see what kind of information you have about our murder.
Okay, on your murder, I know he got arrested once before. Okay,
Yeah.
so, and it was a big old thing because the Mongols and the Mexican Mafia already had come into a peace treaty. So, when he got busted and I found out, first thing when he got out, he went to my house to say it wasn't them. So at that point, I'm believing him and Shotgun that it wasn't them. And like a pendeja, I go all the way up to Pelican Bay to tell my uncle that didn't come from us. It wasn't my boys.
So, Chapo Ruiz and Shotgun Salazar are individuals responsible for the Falcone pizza massacre, right? And this was at a time after an agreement had been reached with the Mongols to cease violence, right? And that's why they went to Sandra. And the uncle she's talking about, she went all the way up to Pelican Bay to see her uncle. That is Daryl Baca, the night off Martija.
So we got it cleared up, and then when he got busted, after that, I guess he got scared because everybody was saying his name, and he knew he would get whacked again. He had another possibility of getting whacked again because they weren't supposed to do that. So he admitted to me that that Shotgun had told him that I told them to do it. So they supposedly did it on my call, but I had no knowledge of it. It was just, I guess, some bad blood between Shotgun and the Mongols, and he misled Chapo and told Chapo it was coming from me.
Now, and that's the reason, that's the information that I want to talk to you about. But in order to kind of understand what it is, that's why I'm asking you some of the background stuff.
Yeah.
Like, where you go up and say it wasn't my boys, well, you're calling him your boy.
Yeah.
And that's kind of that's why I'm kind of leading up to that. Not because I'm trying to get you to admit to what you've done that you might think is criminal or wrong. It's just background for how you know Chapo, what involvement, what connection there is to you that made all this happen, where he had to come to you and explain to you or what you did for him.
Yeah.
That just helps understand why how that happened.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to get you to admit to doing something wrong to get you in trouble. That's not my intention. Okay?
Yeah. So from my knowledge, that's what I know. See, and by that time.
Okay, so when this happened, was he kind of working for you?
He was already working for me, yeah.
Okay, and that was in Mexican Mafia business.
Correct.
And I won't get into specifics about what he was doing, what he wasn't doing. Just there was Mexican Mafia business that he was working with you on.
Correct.
And so would he be considered like somebody under you?
Yes, the hired help. Yeah, he would be considered the hired help.
Okay, and what about this Shotgun? Was he under you also?
Yes, he was.
Was Shotgun above Chapo, equal to Chapo, or what was that?
Above Chapo.
So would Shotgun tell Chapo what to do?
Yeah, Chapo would do it.
Okay. So when was the first time you heard about the biker shooting?
The day it happened, I think, I'm not too sure. Which one called me first? Either Shotgun or Chapo called me first and told me that it wasn't them, that they didn't do it. because everybody was already saying that they did it. That it was my uncle's boys that did it.
That it was your uncle's boys, and who would that have been?
Chapo and Shotgun.
So people were saying that it was your uncle's boys who would have been
Yeah.
Chapo and Shotgun did it.
Yeah, and since they were under my wing, that's why they came to me. Because
you were responsible for whatever they
for
did.
their actions, exactly.
And you did not even know that any of this happened or was going to happen till after it happened.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Now, you don't remember which one of them called you? If it was Chop or if it was...
Shotgun, no, I don't. I know one of them had called me and told me. Most likely it was probably Shotgun who called me.
So Shotgun called you? And was it, you said it was the day that it happened?
The day or the day after? Well, after it was on the news, so I'm assuming, let's just say the day after because it's going to come out on the 10 o'clock news.
Okay.
So the day after.
The day after. And he just told you that he wasn't responsible for it? Or did
Yeah, because everybody was already stating that it was Shotgun and Chapo who did it, so he was just trying to clear that.
Now, if Chapo had done it without...
We're going to pause this here and let's break down what we've heard, right? That Chapo and Shotgun have participated in the pizza parlor biker massacre. This was at Falcone's Pizza Parlor in Pico Rivera, California. And it was a horrible thing, right? It was a horrible thing. Based on what Sandra Cuevas, the interviewee and cooperating witness, has stated, is that he had a beef with the Mongols and used her name to convince Chapo to go and do the hit. He told Chapo that it was coming from Sandra Cuevas herself, right? And I don't know if you caught that immediately, that she would be testifying that Wednesday when this occurred, and that she would receive immunity for anything she said in this interview. So, I mean, all the bells and whistles are going off: cooperating witness, non-adversarial, immunity, and she's speaking openly. It's a different type of interview, folks. I hope you enjoy these interviews. I'm going to keep bringing them to you. We're going to unpack this call as it happens. With that said, folks, hope you enjoyed this segment of this interview. I'll bring you the rest in a very short time. Thank you so much. As always, like, subscribe, leave a comment. With that said, folks, have a safe weekend. Stay safe.